Hello everyone and welcome back for more Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode we got to hang out in Mane's room, which she was naked for most of the time, and we learned that Machina has a very special, unique ability. The ability to memorize books really quickly, which is quite amazing, honestly. So, don't judge a book by its cover. No pun intended. Let's continue on, shall we? There's no gym teacher in this school, but that hasn't stopped some shameless individual from putting physical education on our schedule. A healthy spirit dwells in a healthy body. It's easy to laugh these words off as a relic of the baby boomer generation's Neanderthal obsession with building character through guts and willpower, but in fact, it seems there actually is a good amount of scientific data linking moderate physical exercise to positive psychotropic effects. Personally, having been brought up with the simplistic lesson that basic physical strength decides things in the end, I don't have any objections to moving my body. That said... Amane's pointlessly powerful voice resounds across the field. In response, there's a vaguely apathetic chorus of "yeah" from her classmates. An unenthusiastic "yeah" from the transparently disinterested Michiru. A dopey "yes" from Machina, unintentionally draining any shred of motivation from all who hear it. A vigorous "yeah" from Sachi, who's taking everything seriously as always, but her voice cracks shrilly at the clearly unfamiliar exercise. And finally, stony silence from Sakaki, who's sulking like a prideful middle schooler forced to participate in a children's athletic meet. The only one of the bunch with any real energy would be Amane, thrusting her fist towards the heavens from her position on the mound. As for me, without the beginning of a clue as to what's about to take place here, I'm staring absent-mindedly up at the sky. And how are you doing today, everybody? How are you doing? I'm doing quite well, thank you. Hey, Amane?
Oh, なんじゃい俺
Why are you so ridiculously fired up?
うちの子たちってなんでかみんなインドア派っていうか体を動かすのが嫌いな子が多くてね。こうしてから元気でテンション上げていかないとなかなかやる気出さないのよ。なんだ貴様ら、どいつもこいつも青秒単みてえな顔しやがって。気合を入れろ。ジジイのファックの方がまだ気合が入っている。この腐れま子供。
Wow. Quite the mouth on her, isn't it? Well, seems like we've got someone exploding with a weird sort of drill sergeant energy at least.
ちょっと待っててね。マキナ、ちょっとこっちおいで。
Amane seizes Machina's head from above like a basketball and forcibly carries her off into the shadows.
マキナ、元気なのはいいけど、言葉遣い気をつけようねっていつも言ってるよね。わかりましたか？痛い痛い、たまね、痛いってば。だからラメって言っちゃダメだぞ。
Amane's voice somehow manages to be both sickly sweet and ice cold. It's enough to send shivers down my spine. Machina's bitter, heart-rending screams don't help either. I think Amane's trying to maintain a relatively kind tone of voice, but she's actually more frightening as a result. It crosses my mind that this could very well be described as bullying, but considering the current climate of hypersensitivity towards such matters, I'll refrain from voicing any hasty conclusions.
どうでもいいけど、やるならさっさと始めましょうよ。
That's fine by me, but what exactly is it that we're doing?
いつものスポーツでしょ。バカバカしい。どうして私がこんなことに付き合わなければいけないのかしら。
Sports? I was hoping for more specific details, but playing sports in gym class hardly seems ridiculous. More like completely commonplace.
それは私からご説明しましょう。
Before that, I've got an unrelated question if that's alright.
はい、どうぞ。
Why are you the only one in a maid uniform?
はい。
Don't give me the totally nonplussed look. For a second, you almost convinced me that I'm the strange one here.
ああ、この服ですか？よくご覧になれば一目瞭然かと存じますが、ご覧の通り、これは体操用のメイド服で。
Sorry, let's move on. Shouldn't have asked. My mistake. The strangest thing here wasn't her clothes. It was me expecting anything resembling common sense from a student at this school. Okay, so, what exactly does sports involve here?
ですね、なんと言いますか、種目の名前はないんですよ。キックベースのような、サッカーのような、ソフトボールのような、ドッジボールのような、それらすべての要素を加味した新ジャンルとでも言いますか。
What kind of an extreme sport is that? All I got out of your description is that there's probably a ball involved.
はい、使用するのはバレーのボールです。
So she hands me a large round ball she's been holding on to.
このボールをあそこのピッチャーマウンドから投げまして、バッターボックスに立った打者が手にしたバットでそれを打ちます。
They hit a volleyball with a bat?
はい。打球が内野に転がったら、打者は一塁へ向かって走ります。守備側は打球をキャッチして走者に向かって思いっきりボールを投げつけます。それが走者に当たったらアウトです。
What if someone catches the ball on the fly?
それもアウトです。その辺は野球に近いかもしれないですね。
Why and when did this strange game come into fashion?
別に流行ってるわけじゃないわよ。ただうちの学校って今まで学生が5人しかいなかったから、何をやるにしても人数が足りなかったのよ。
I'm still quite curious as to why only 5 people exist at this school. Seems baffling. I don't know. I don't know anything about the story, to tell the truth, so anything that happens in this game will become as a complete surprise to me.
それにソフトボールをやりたいとか、ドッジボールがいいとか、いろいろと意見が分かれまして。
So you just ended doing them all at once. Was this your doing, Sakaki?
そうやって何でもかんでも私のせいにしないでほしいわね。もう確かに言い出したのは私だけれど。
Then don't complain when I blame you.
いつまで経っても意見の一致が見られないから。だったら全部やればいいと言っただけよ。別に全てをいっぺんにやれと言った覚えはないわ。
Look,
それよりもルールが理解できたのならさっさと始めてほしいのだけれど。
what about Amane Makina?
いるわよ、ここに。
引っこ抜けかと思ったのよさ。
What exactly?
首とか魂とか。
Amane.
何よ、教育でしょ。この子ってば注意してあげないとどんどん汚い言葉を覚えてバンバン使いたがるんだから。
Are you her mother or what? And so, after 50 minutes of wasted time, with Amane's second shot of "Alright, let's do this," a bewildering match of mystery extreme sports begins. Through the impartial results of rock, paper, scissors matches, the teams are divided as follows. Bear team, pitcher Soya Amane, catcher Sakaki Yumiko, fielder Irisu Makina. Rabbit team, pitcher Kazami Yuji, catcher Komini Sachi, fielder Matsushima Michiru. Our rabbit team ends up being first to bat. The leadoff batter dons a softball helmet, grabs a colorful metal bat, and takes her place in the batter's box.
よーし、かかってきなさい。
With a grating high-pitched shout, Michiru thrusts her bat out to the point of the pitcher's mound, where Amane is settling into her stance with the volleyball in hand. What's this? Considering how apathetic she was, Michiru's got surprisingly into it now that the game started.
ええ、みちる様は何と言いますか。とりあえず何でも嫌ってみて、何にでも面倒くさがってみるところから始める人なんですけど、いざ始まってしまえば一番ムキになる方ですから。
I see, but I'm willing to bet she's also the first one to get bored.
ご明察です。
Unaware of the critical analysis she's receiving from her teammates, Michiru takes a few vigorous practice swings, then glares up at Amane.
前回の借り、今日こそ返してあげるわ。あ なんだっけ、おめえ挽回ちょっと言い間違えただけでしょ。人の小さなミスをそうやっていつまでもネチネチと、もう。
Watching Michiru stamp her feet in frustration in the batter's box, I whispered to Sachi, who's sitting next to me on the bench. So what happened last time?
はい、前回の授業でみちる様は天音さんから1点も取ることができなかったんです。それでまあ試合終了後に大きな声で「このおめえはいつか挽回するから覚えていなさい」と。
Disgrace tends to be something you want to repay, not regain. I guess the words are kind of similar. She must have gotten all excited and shouted out a garbled sentence before she even knew what she was saying. Just a thought here. Might Michiru be something of an idiot?
私の口からは何とも申し上げにくいです。
That's a yes.
そこ聞こえてるわよ。ごちゃごちゃうるさい。
Yeah, sorry, didn't intend to distract you. We'll keep quiet, so please regain as much disgrace as you'd like.
だからおめえは返上するもので挽回するものじゃない。
As Michiru screeches like a drugged monkey and brandishes her bat overhead, Amane's first pitch sails over the plate.
ストライク。
こーらずるいわよ。なんもずるないわ。試合はもう始まってんねん。屈辱だ。
Receiving the return throw from Sakaki, Amane carefully finds her foothold on the pitcher's mound. I feel a smile on her face.
ほら第2球行くわよ。来い。
With that intense shout, Michiru takes firm hold of her bat and fixedly watches Amane's pitching motion. Looking closely, Michiru's got the position of her hands on the bat reversed. But if I mention that now, I get the feeling her only response would be another "shut it." Guess I'll just watch over her gallant battle with silent respect. Amane twists her long limbs into a sidearm motion, and the volleyball soars towards the squatting Sakaki's hands at an ideal velocity and angle. With an explosion of energy, Michiru swings her bat at full force, but tragically she cuts through empty air at a good 10 centimeters above the top of the ball, her blonde twin tails swinging aimlessly behind her.
2ストライク。
Michiru slams her bat on home plate in a towering rage.
あと1球よみちるちゃん。ちゃんって言うな。子供扱いしないでよ。次こそは打つ。この日のために編み出した伝説の打法が。
Hey, Michiru.
何よ。
You got your hands wrong.
はあ
You're batting right, so your right hand should be on top. You've got it backwards.
知ってるわよ。わざとよ。どう持つのよ。
You're obviously clueless. Hold it with your right fist higher than the bat, and your left fist below.
そういうことはもっと早く言いなさいよ。なんなのよもう。ねえ続けていいの？いいわよ。いつでも来なさいよ。もう少し待ちなさいよ。どっちなの？来い。
As Michiru bears her fighting spirit, Amane's face briefly suggested dubious, "Are you sure about that?" But she's not the type to think too hard about this sort of thing. Her expression soon gives way to a smirking grin.
んじゃあ全力でいくよ。
Forcefully swinging the ball up in her right hand, Amane takes a step forward on the mound, throwing the movement of her entire body into the pitch. The ball flies out of Amane's hand, whistling through the air directly at its target, which is Michiru.
みちる様危ない。想定通りよ。
Michiru, anticipating the beanball, pulls back half a step with her pivot leg and swings her bat in a wide arc.
くらえ。伝説のピッチャー返し。
Michiru's vigorous stroke of the bat catches the ball beautifully in the sweet spot, sending it flying back towards Amane on the mound.
あれは伝説のピッチャー返しです。
Well, that's what she screamed, so I would assume so. Exactly where and how this thing became a legend is a question for another day. The ball rushes straight back towards Amane, who's still in an awkward position from releasing her pitch. That thing's gonna hit her. Or so I thought for a split second. Amane nimbly recovers and takes a firm stance as the ball approaches her.
必殺ピッチャー返し返し。
Turning to the side, she swings back with her left elbow and unleashes a firm right-handed fist stab in model karate form. With a resounding thud, the ball sent flying back towards where Michiru stands in the batter's box.
おのれこしゃくな。ヒギピッチャー返し返し返し。
Michiru fires it right back.
無駄無駄。ピッチャー返し返し返し返し。
ピッチャー返し返し返し返し返し返し。
のりゃー、ピッチャー返し返し返し返し返し返し。
Right off the bat, we already find ourselves in a deadlock? Or rather, what the hell is with this development? I'm sort of reminded of those martial arts matches where both fighters run to the center of the ring at the first gong, stop dead, and just start bashing away at each other. But where do things go from here? Are they planning to repeat picture paybacks until they just run out of steam? I can't read the next move. A strange game. There's no apparent path to victory for either side. Okay, that's enough. Hey, Sachi.
はい。
What exactly is a pitcher pack?
さあ、おそらくですけど、マキちゃんは舌が短いので、ピッチャー返しと言おうとしてセリフを噛んだだけかと。
I see.
ピッチャー返し返し返し返し返し返し返し。
なんとピッチャー返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し。
Sparks continue to fly as the battle to the death between Mound and Batter's box continues along its repetitive course. But I mean, what exactly are they getting all worked up over? I mean, it's too damn hot for this. I suppose women have their own battles they must be fought to the bitter end. This is clearly a contest between two truly indomitable spirits. By the way, Sachi,
はい、なんでしょう。
just how long is this futile exchange going to continue?
さあ、おそらくはどちらかが諦めるか飽きるかするまでだと思いますけど。
Truly a thrilling edge of your seat battle of the wills. Mind if I use this opportunity to go buy a drink?
あ、私が買ってきましょうか。
No, I think I'll get it myself this time. At my words, Sachi skewers me with a searching glare.
まさか、榊さんみたいにジュースを買いに行くって言って、そのまま帰ってこないつもりじゃないですよね。
As the thought, damn, she saw through me, runs through my head. I make eye contact with Sakaki, who's still crushed behind the
な
plates.
んなの？こっちを見ないでくれる？
So there was a previous offender, eh?
うるさいわね。こんなの時間の浪費だわ。
Well, I can't argue with that. So we resign ourselves to watch over their battle to the end, with the calm gazes of the elderly watching their overly energetic grandchildren skip rope with all their might. But just as I'm beginning to think that this fiery clash of pride between Michiru and Amane might truly never end, the conclusion arrives in an unexpected form.
ピッチャー返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し返し。ピッチャー返し返し返し返し。
Hey, Sachi.
はい、なんでしょう。
What does that god just now signify?
さあ、おそらくですけれど、あまねさんが足を滑らせて足首をくじいた音ではないでしょうか。
I see. Wait, should that be my reaction here? So, isn't that kind of bad?
やばいですか？
Sachi stares blankly back at me for a moment. After a beat, her eyes widen and her mouth springs open.
いえ、やばいですよ。
As we hurriedly jump off the bench, Makina is already rushing up to Amane, who's currently writhing on the mound.
死ぬな。いたたたた。
Although it might look like a slapstick comedy scene if you squint, the atmosphere is actually pretty tense. Until a burst of out of the place laughter breaks it.
それ見たことか。
Michiru points towards the mound with her right hand, her left hand resting on her hip, her proud face the image of woman triumphant.
ああ、この私に、 この私に勝負を挑もうなんて10年早いわよ。
Should you really be striking a victory pose right now? You're completely burned out yourself.
うるさいわね。この程度なんてこと。ダメ。ごめん、クラクラする。サチ、酸素持ってきて。
Her faint voice abruptly failing altogether. Let's try that again. Her faint voice abruptly failing her altogether, Michiru's body begins to shake violently. She collapses to her knees on the spot with a thump.
倒れたよ。チルチルも死んだよ。オーマイガー、なんてこった。どうして私の好きになる人はみんな死んじゃうのよさ。
死んでないから。ちょっと立ちくらみが。
Oh, the sound effects are wonderful. Michiru scatters sparkling vomit onto the ground with a sickening gurgle. Would this be the so-called double KO? So, Sachi, in this case, can we declare the one who stands up inside the 10-count winner?
いえ、もうそういった場合じゃないと思います。すみません、風見さん。私はみちる様の様子を見ますので、あまねさんの方お願い。
Roger.
閉じた。
あまね、大丈夫？今なんかグキーって曲がっちゃいけない方に足が曲がってたよね。
Probably shouldn't try to stand. If the bone's broken, the pressure might make it break the skin.
怖いこと言わないでよ。
Look, just stay put, alright? Let me see your Amane, supported by her hands, slowly shifts to a sitting position on the mound. I take her right leg in my hand and lift it up to take a look. It's not any worse than I'd expected. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be a fracture, but there is red swelling beginning around the joint. Doesn't seem to be broken, but a sprain? Well, if we're unlucky, it might be a partial fracture.
捻挫か。久しぶり。私さ、身長の割に足のサイズが小さいから昔からよく転ぶのよね。
Either way, it's the infirmary for you. Can you stand?
なんとか。
I'll put weight on your right foot. Just get yourself onto my back. Don't give me that. It's not so bad right now because you're pumped full of adrenaline from the shock. Shack? Really? What's wrong with me? But if you overdo it, you'll be crying later. Hurry up and get on.
優しい。どうしたの？急に。
I'm not gonna play along with your jokes right now. You're hurt. Stop wasting time and do what I tell you. Amane softly leans her body against my back and grabs the shoulders of my gym uniform somewhat hesitantly. Oh, there's the scene I used in a previous video. Well, now I can use it for real. Anyway. Isn't that pretty? He's got a pointy chin, but that's okay. You need a better grip than that. Wrap your arms around. Get a hold of my neck.
わかったわよ。こう？
As instructed, Amane wraps her arms around my neck, pushing her breasts firmly against my back. Normally, I'd be throwing out a joke or two at this point, but this isn't the time, nor the place. Sachi, I'm taking her to the infirmary. How's Michiru?
はい。みちる様は今酸素吸入中です。5分程度で回復すると思われます。
Michiru lies flat on the ground, limp as a beach tuna. Sachi's holding a portable can of oxygen to her mouth as we speak. I'm leaving command of the field to you. Just your tactics as the situation demands. Can you handle it, class representative?
はい。小峰幸いただきます。
Itadakimasu. For some reason, maybe instinctively reacting to my tone, Sachi raises a hand in salute towards me. Alright, here we go, Amane.
ごめん。
Not a problem. Not a problem. This isn't something you need to apologize for. I thought about that response, but ultimately decided against it. The wounded tend to grow timid towards those around them. Better to avoid wording that might make her think of herself as baggage burdening others. Don't want to increase her anxiety. I keep up a flow of communication, standard procedure to ensure the wound doesn't faint out of pain. Well, I think with that, I'm going to leave the video off here, and I will see you all in the next part. So take it easy, everybody.